2014.
Right, so you probably guessed the UK is bidding for 2014. We have a bid committee form, that's committee UK definition, which are Alice Lawson, James Bacon, John Dowd, Rita Maidenay, and Claire Briley, and myself and Mike Scott on the committee, with Vince and Colin acting as our advisors. Technically at this point we're still bidding 2 cities, Glasgow and London. We still have to make our mind up, but we should do so, and we'll be announcing the city and launching at 9 PM UK time on Good Friday at Easter Con. Now I'll hand over to Mike to tell you more about the sites.
As Steve said, we're looking at Glasgow and London. The site for Glasgow will be the SECC, the same as in 2005. The site has not changed particularly as far as we're concerned. The site for London is not Brompton Road Tube Station. It is about 8 miles further east at the Excel Exhibition Centre in the Docklands area, which is about 5 to 9 miles east of the central London area, and is 1 mile from London City Airport, which unfortunately has no long-haul services. Rather than go into detail now, I'll take your questions. I will address smoking, so I'm sure it will come up. The law in the UK has changed since 2005, and there is now no smoking indoors except in designated smoking hotel bedrooms. So, questions?
In Glasgow, the taxi rates were reasonable for the UK. What are the taxi rates like in London?
Expensive. I won't beat around the bush. It's about £3 a mile, about $5 US a mile. They are the best trained taxi drivers in the world, and probably the most expensive as well.
Is the Docklands the proposed site for the Olympics?
Okay, Excel is the proposed venue for 5 of the Olympic sports. It's mostly ones that involve people hitting each other. We've got boxing and fencing and judo in there, that kind of event. So, an advantage we have is that area has a lot of infrastructure upgrades going on, and they will all be finished 2 years before 2014.
Hi, my question has to do with transportation, because I know when we were in London in 2005, you could get a bus that went anywhere. Do the buses run to where you're proposing we have the convention?
Okay, Excel is on about 5 different bus routes, but it's also on the Docklands Light Railway system, which has direct connections into the Tower of London and the Bank of England, and also connects with about 4 different underground lines. And by 2014, it will also have a direct service to the international train station at Stratford. You'll be about 3 hours away from Paris or Brussels.
Hi, I know there's a lot of hotel development going on in that area now. Could you briefly describe what you expect in the hotels in that area in 2000?
Okay. What's on site now, and I mean on site, it's a campus about 3/4 of a mile long. There are 6 hotels with about 1,500 bedrooms. About half 4-star and about half budget hotels. There are 3 more hotels at various stages of likeliness, from extremely likely to extremely speculative, which will add at least 250 more bedrooms. So we're talking about 1,800 bedrooms on site minimum by 2014. Then a couple of miles away on the Docklands Light Railway, there are a lot of hotels in the business district at Canary Wharf, the main Docklands area.
Which weekends are you looking at for either Glasgow or London?
For both sites, our preferred weekend is the traditional Thursday through Monday on August 14th through 18th. That's about 2 weeks before Labor Day weekend. in Glasgow, they have the Commonwealth Games in town, late July, early August. We cannot go earlier than that weekend. In London, we could go one weekend earlier.
How are you deciding which city to pick, and are you willing to take a vote for people who have been to Glasgow twice already?
We're looking at, obviously, where we think people are likely to want to go. We're aware that London is likely to be more popular than Glasgow, especially with those who've been to Glasgow twice before for Worldcons. Obviously, we're also looking at affordability and feasibility and are there any showstopper issues, and we'll be taking a decision on that fairly shortly and announcing at Easter.
My question is for both you and 2013. If the world does come to an end in 2012, they keep saying, what alternate locations are you looking at?
I hear the moon's nice.
I think Steve was bidding Arrakis on Friday.
Are you going to join the other seated conventions and bids who are going to have Tim running off about 100 pounds before this is over?
Could you repeat that question?
I said, are you going to join in with the rest of the bids and seated conventions for which Tim has been running around holding the microphone and in the process losing probably about 100 pounds? Are you going to join in this tradition?
To say yes.
Smile and nod.
Smile and nod. I think we're done.
There you go.